When I retire, I don't want people to say, okay, he only won because of Shaq.
After Shaq left LA, Kobe Bryant was accused of only having championships because he played with Shaq. So let's go ahead and take a look at how Kobe Bryant became a champion without Shaquille O'Neal on his basketball team. Let's get it.
Batman, 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 what? Batman, Batman, yeah. Batman, yeah. Batman, yeah. Batman, Batman, hey, Batman, Batman, what? Mr. Never use a gap, man, yeah. Never turn like a Batman.
What is going on, y'all? This is your boy back up in it with another video, and I know I haven't made a video in a while, but before we go ahead and get into this topic, make sure you guys look at the screen and follow me on all these social media platforms for more daily hoop content. Now with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get it started. Prior to Kobe Bryant playing on his own in LA, he was basically accused of only having 3 championships because of Shaquille O'Neal. Now this drove him insane. In the 2004 NBA Finals, the Lakers would match up against the Detroit Pistons, one of the best defensive teams in NBA history, but unfortunately the Lakers would come up extremely short against a team they should have dominated and won against. However, instead they lost in 5 games. Now after this loss, this drove Kobe Bryant absolutely crazy. He was ready to move on and not play with Shaquille O'Neal anymore, and was seriously considering going to the Chicago Bulls. I mean, can you imagine what Kobe Bryant in a Bulls uniform would look like? I mean, come on, that's just wild to even think about.
We were looking for homes.
Right.
We were actually looking for homes in Chicago, researching schools, places to live.
So that was true, you were going to go to the Bulls?
Yeah.
Well, before that could even happen, the Lakers ended up trading Shaquille O'Neal to the Miami Heat. And if you think that the Lakers were about to lose both Kobe and Shaq in the same summer, you bugged. Now, as a result of this, Kobe got exactly what he wanted. He got to be the man on his own team, and it also kind of helps that he got to stay in LA, which has nice warm weather. I mean, he wants to go to Chicago and play in that cold-ass city. Now, the first few seasons where Kobe Bryant was on the Los Angeles Lakers as the clear-cut best player didn't go too well. In the 2005 season, he would miss about 20 games. The Lakers would miss the playoffs, and that was seen as a heavy disappointment. In the next season, 2006, Kobe Bryant put up one of the most historic scoring seasons the NBA has ever seen, averaging 35 points per game and simply just carrying the Lakers on his back. They would get to the 7th seed, they would lose in the first round to the Phoenix Suns, and they would blow a 3-1 lead in the very first round of the playoffs. In the very next season, 2007, Kobe Bryant once again put up an historic season, dropping 32 points per game and just putting on scoring performances like MJ or Wilt back in the day. I mean, take a look at the graphics on the screen, and this is the type of stuff that Kobe Bryant was doing. Yeah, it wasn't getting him anywhere as far as breaking the narrative that he only won because of Shaquille O'Neal, until finally in 2008, the Lakers would finally get Kobe Bryant some damn help. They would pull off a heist of a deal from my man Pau Gasol, who was the perfect Robin to complement and help Kobe Bryant's game. Pau was a consistent 17 and 10 type of guy, great post player who had nice moves around the basket and can space the floor and hit an open jump shot, and was also a pretty underrated passer as well, which is the perfect guy to pair with a superstar alpha male like Kobe Bryant. Now, after they acquired Pau Gasol, Kobe Bryant would go on to still have a great season where he would average about 28 points per game and capture his first MVP. The Lakers would go on to have a great playoff run as well, even gentlemen sweeping and just completely annihilating the San Antonio Spurs in the conference finals to make their first finals appearance since 2004, where they got completely embarrassed. However, in the finals, they would match up against a Boston Celtics team that won 60 games, completely annihilated the Eastern Conference, and were simply a juggernaut. In that series, they played Kobe and the Lakers so well defensively and just forced Kobe Bryant into so many tough jump shots. And the Lakers would go on to lose in 6 games. And once again, the narrative that Kobe Bryant only won 3 championships because of Shaquille O'Neal just got stronger. Following that season, however, the Los Angeles Lakers, along with Kobe Bryant and Pau Gasol, would finally break through and capture their first championship. Kobe Bryant individually had a great NBA season, averaging 26 points per game, but he would follow that up with an all-time great playoff run and an even better finals performance. Now on the screen is what Kobe Bryant did in 2009. For the regular season, he averaged 26.8 points per game, 5.2 boards, 4.9 assists. He had a true shooting percentage of 56.1% and a free throw percentage of 85. But if you take a look at the playoffs, My guy Kobe Bryant, the Black Mamba, was a playoff riser. He got better as the games got more important, and he improved in literally every statistical category. Now let's go ahead and take a look at that playoff run and break it down. In the 2009 playoffs, round 1, he would go up against the Utah Jazz, where he would drop 27 points per game, 5 assists, and 5 rebounds. In the second round, he would see the Houston Rockets, where he would drop 27 points per game, 5 boards, and 3.7 assists. In the 2009 Western Conference Finals, they would match up against the Denver Nuggets, who had Carmelo Anthony and Chauncey Billups. But not just any Carmelo Anthony. This was start of peak Carmelo Anthony, who averaged 27 points per game for that series. Him and Kobe Bryant would go back and forth, and eventually, like I said before, the Lakers would win in 6. Kobe Bryant would drop 35 points in the closeout game to make the finals a second time in a row. They would match up against the Orlando Magic, led by peak Dwight Howard, who were the best defensive team in the NBA and won 59 games. But none of this stuff mattered because Kobe Bryant was simply on a mission. He dropped 32 points per game and 7 assists per game in that series. He had 30 points in literally every single game of that series, with the exception of one, which was game 2, where he had 29 points. And just look at the shots that Kobe Bryant was hitting in this series. These are the type of shots and plays that Kobe Bryant made because he simply refused to lose. Kobe completely annihilated this defense, which was the best defense in the entire NBA, because he was so determined to break the narrative that he only had 3 championships because of playing with Shaquille O'Neal. Now, before we go any further, don't ever let anyone tell you that Magic team was bad, because that Magic team beat LeBron James and they beat the Boston Celtics, who did have injuries, I understand. But they were the best defensive team in the league, and just because Kobe Bryant completely destroyed them doesn't mean that they were weak by any means. But there you have it. That was the video. That is how Kobe Bryant became a champion without Shaq. And I hope you guys loved the video. Definitely drop a like. Subscribe if you haven't. Follow me on all these social media platforms for more content. And with that being said, A1 Hoops signing off. Have a good one.